10 steps ahead of you.
Following the new film of MCU Loki, Episodes is pretty much fun as it entails the journey of Loki in TVA. The first episode features how Loki messed up everything and showed his vulnerable side when he saw the past. In that episode, we felt happiness, sadness, and pity towards him as the worker from TVA said that he was born to destroy everything around him. So now that the second episode is released, let's dive into that as we discuss the top 10 things you missed in Loki episode 2 in today's topic. We'll go through everything about it, and I know you're gonna like it, so be sure to watch this video up to the end, and afterward, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to be notified of the upcoming new videos. So now let's get started, shall we? Number 10. The pen that was used by the judge. This may not be a sign about anything, however we should draw attention to it since it seems odd to focus on such a minor detail that happens to have no bearing on the plot. As Mobius takes care of some red tape while asking RAVONNA Renslayer to let him keep bringing Loki out of his new variant case, Mobius notices the judge's pen says Franklin D. Roosevelt High School. He guesses it's from another agent she loves, perhaps the same one who sent her a snow globe as a memento from a prior case. This is most likely a detail that will lead Mobius to suspect Renslayer of wrongdoing. It's the kind of little information that would immediately make sense to a detective working on a case. Perhaps this criminal Loki is seeking to disrupt Renslayer's intentions and is not the actual antagonist of the story. Number 9. Loki being the trickster. The hooded Loki variant opens the second episode of Loki with another cruel and complex trick. During a Renaissance festival in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in 1985, he attacks a group of hunters. It's an exciting way to include another historical period in the play without actually visiting that age, with all the fairgoers costumed in medieval garb. On the other hand, Hunter C-20, Sasha Lane, is brainwashed and compelled to murder her own team before a Loki version knocks her unconscious, kidnaps her, and takes her through a golden time portal. When Mobius and the other hunters attempt to locate the missing unit, the TVA-aligned Loki attempts to communicate how ruthless this different Loki is. Despite being a member of Team TVA, our God of Mischief is still up to his old tricks, as evidenced by his attempts to convince the group that if they leave the tent, they will be murdered by the lesser Loki variant. He is the only one who can approach the variant without dying, and that the timekeepers are in grave danger. Of course, this is a complete lie. Instead of appealing for his life and avoiding being erased from the timeline, Loki's actual goal, as revealed by Mobius, is to weasel his way in front of the timekeepers to seize control of the TVA. What can you say about this other Loki variant? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Number 8. RAVONNA Renslayer's office. At RAVONNA Renslayer's office scene, Mobius notes a snow globe on her shelf as a reward from a previous case. Because it's from a case he didn't work on, he can't help but bring it out. It's challenging to identify what it is at first since it's so far away, but a closer look reveals the base, which has San Diego on it. Although Marvel Comics makes no mention of snow globes or San Diego, we feel this is a nod to Comic-Con fans who frequent the area. In her office, we find RAVONNA Renslayer reaching for a baton which she keeps on the shelf next to her other trophies as the timeline begins to spin out of control. One of the other relics on the shelf is her old Minuteman helmet from a lower-ranking TVA employee. Her helmet has the identification A23 imprinted on it. Renslayer first appeared in Marvel Comics Avengers number 23. Number 7. Loki the Frost Giant. When Mobius and his comrades discuss which form of Loki they may encounter on their trip to the Renaissance Fair to track down the lethal variant hunting the TVA, various alternate Loki incarnations are revealed. Loki's first appearance shows him not trying to hide his blue, the first Frost Giant's skin. Remember that he's a shapeshifter. His initial shapeshifting was to distinguish himself from his Frost Giant forefathers by changing his skin color from blue to a more common flesh tone. Number 6. Number 372. We adore the little comic book references that appear in Marvel Studios films and television series. The number 372 is visible in the background of the TVA library in this example. Thor number 372 is the TVA's second appearance in Marvel Comics and their second appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've made it halfway through this video. Make sure you've subscribed to my channel and press the bell button to be alerted when new material is available. Please give this video a thumbs up to express your appreciation for my efforts. Let's continue. Number 5. The Hexagons. WandaVision included many hexagons, and they even contributed to defining Wanda Maximoff's fictitious New Jersey television universe. As a result, it was dubbed the Hex, a play on the word witchcraft, In this episode of Loki, Mobius is ordered to set his drink on a hexagon coaster that can be seen in RAVONNA RENSLAYER'S office. We're not sure what it's intended to signify, but an insert shot of the drink on the coaster suggests it's significant. Number 4. The Three Magic Lizard. When Loki and Mobius ran into difficulties in their apocalyptic research and needed to narrow down probable locations for the variant, they debate the TVA's and Timekeeper's very natures. Even though the Three Magic Lizards, as Loki refers to them, are absent from the first 2 episodes of Loki, their presence is maintained by massive statues of them in their robes. So who are these Timekeepers? They're untangling the sacred timeline in their chamber, according to Mobius, to ensure that time ends appropriately. They're in charge of their lives, innumerable beings across the cosmos, yet Marvel isn't interested in displaying them. Something doesn't add up. However, the issue remains, what happens when the time limit is reached? There would be no more Nexus occurrences or temporal branches to clean up, and the TVA would come to an end. In Loki's own words, only order, no chaos. That sounds boring. Number 3. Loki searches the truth about TVA. In episode 2, Mobius compels Loki to put on his detective hat and figure out how the variant is escaping the TVA. However, as Loki soon learns, detective work isn't always about apprehending bad guys, it's often about combing through documentation and looking for anomalies. He also takes this opportunity to learn more about the TVA and the origin and end of time, but sadly he can't access the classified information. But that makes sense, revealing the truth about life, the world and everything to the God of Mischief would be a huge mistake. Unfortunately for Loki, through the mind-numbing paperwork, he learns of Asgard's devastation at the hands of the Fire King Surtur in Thor Ragnarok Clancy Brown. Later in the episode, when Loki proves his point by ruining Mobius's lunch, the two head to Pompeii, Italy in 79 AD to put Loki's theory to the test. Isn't this what a typical Friday night in town looks like? Hanging around near a volcano that is about to explode, killing tens of thousands of people. As it turns out, Loki's idea is right. At apocalyptic events, time travelers do not generate variance energy, which not only alters the game for Loki, but also establishes an intriguing precedent for the MCU's upcoming introduction of the multiverse. Number 2. Loki Counterpart. Following Loki and Mobius' search through different apocalyptic catastrophes in Loki Episode 1 for the exact brand of gum provided to the boy in 1549 France, the time-traveling duo located down to a storm in Haven Hills, Alabama in 2050. Roxcart, a spin-off of the evil Roxcon Corporation that frequently appears in the MCU and is a recurrent entity in Marvel Comics, runs the town. When Loki and Mobius arrive at Haven Hills, they discover the residents of the town hiding within Roxcart. Some of them are under the control of the Loki version, much as C-20 was in 1985 at the Renaissance Fair. This is when the identity of the hooded Loki variation is revealed, and it's Lady Loki, Sophia Di Martino, replete with her gold-horned crown. Number 1. The Variant's Plan. The end of Loki Episode 2 solves more than just one mystery. The variant has been stealing TVA hunters' technology to use a swarm of reset devices to blast the sacred timeline. What was her motive for abducting C-20? She's attempting to locate the Timekeepers to either change the timeline in her favor or murder them. To Mobius' surprise, Loki chooses one of the TVA's golden time doors to pursue the variant, giving the impression that he is genuinely on the variant's side. Loki and Mobius and the rest of the TVA are likely to clash in the future, and Loki may find it challenging to commit to a new good guy lifestyle for some time. That's it for today. What do you think of these references? Did you all notice this? Did you enjoy this video? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell button to get updates on new content. Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye!